When you see, sense, or experience something for the first time, you can feel yourself shift and change. In each new landscape, you feel growth in the wonder of new experiences and freedom in the endless possibilities of the unknown. We've been camping in the US and Canada for the past few weeks, mostly with no plan at all, sleeping under the stars, cooking on fires, and jumping into every river we can find. As we wander through the ever-changing landscapes of this beautiful continent, we've kind of reverted back to this childlike innocence where our biggest priority is just to have fun. It has made us think a lot about what it means to grow up, and we've realised that it's quite strange to believe that there's a certain age where we should stop learning, expanding, and exploring. A certain age where we should grow up. When you travel, it's the opposite of this. We allow ourselves to expand with new discoveries, seeing new landscapes, meeting new people, and tasting new foods. And suddenly, everything feels like you're a child again. Time slows, responsibilities fade, and memories last. So, we are relearning how to live and taking this perspective everywhere that we go. Like a child, we float with the deep rivers, jump from rocks just to feel something, or spend hours on the water's edge playing silly games. And I remind myself that this is not silly at all. If life is about anything, is it not this? Julia takes her sketchbook everywhere, always drawing the landscapes around her. She diligently documents her experience of the land, and through this stillness, you can see her ground herself. She connects to each new place by noticing small details and finding connections between all things. She becomes absorbed for hours, just watching the mountains slowly change. She reflects her experience onto the page, sketching colours and shapes that mirror the landscape and herself. We stayed on the traditional territory of the Haklipmek. Haklipmek have lived within Haklip traditional territory since time immemorial. Their ways of life are inspiring, and these words of the community really stayed with us. The land is part of who we are. The people and the land cannot be separated. The land, animals, fish, trees, water, and people are all Haklip. As we pass through landscapes so diverse, so grand, and so magical, we've been reflecting on what it means to connect to a place. Art is one way that we do this. As we learn the colours, shapes, and movements of a landscape, we feel that sense of growing connection and begin to understand the seasons and waters and sky, even just a little bit. There are other ways that we learn to not just be a tourist, but to notice and feel what is around us. We always try to collect a little rubbish and leave a place better than we found it. Always feeling immense gratitude to be held, even for a moment, in a new place. One secret that we've learned is to play and open ourselves to the wonder of a place, to eat local food and talk and listen to as many people as we can. Being in nature and camping for weeks, you're really back to the basics. There are some things that we miss, like regular showers or thick mattresses, but most things we wouldn't trade for anything else. I think that the simplicity lets you appreciate everything a little more. Food cooked on a fire tastes like nothing in the world. Flavors become so deep, mixed with fire smoke and the joy of cooking together around the fire.
What should I put on first? I did beans, then corn, and then lettuce, and then just the rainbow.
When each night you're sleeping out of a tent, your life becomes simple and it's easy to connect with your inner child. Without the responsibilities of day-to-day life, you're left with so much free time. With found freedom, I let myself do nothing at all. I lay in a field and braid daisy chains and celebrate the feeling of sun on my face. Sometimes I think that I'm wasting time, but then I realize, what does that even mean? This idea that time is some sort of currency is so materialistic. Even the way that we speak about time is so warped. To spend time, or that time is money. Instead, I'm realizing that time is so much more organic. I see the way that nature flows with time, and not against it. The flowers grow with the seasons. The sun sets with the day. To waste time is a privilege, and it's these moments that nurture us the most.
With the wolves and the howling light, hear my call sound. I dug it up from the well. I heard you make all the diamonds. And it hurts like hell. And I don't know if I can trust you.
Did you touch the bottom?
I belong to the starry night. Follow the crickets chirp till dawn. And if the morn shall rise, it'll be a sight. You welcome me in as I push you out. It feels like fire in my eyes. Waking up in the daybreak, and it hurts like hell. I still don't know if I can trust you well. hurts like hell. And I don't know if I can trust you well, it hurts like hell. I still don't know if I can trust you.
We camped here in a grove of 400-year-old western red cedars and slept as owls hooted above us.
I was like a buffalo, wild and temperamental. I heard you whisper in a gale blowing through my rolling grassland.
So there have been a lot of coyote noises. I think that's what they are. They keep howling. It's pretty spooky. And then also someone said that there has been a bear that's been walking around the campsite. And then someone else said that they saw the baby of the bear, but not the bear. So now I'm spooked out that the mama bear is going to be worried and she doesn't know where her baby is. We ventured out to eastern Oregon, and it was so cool to see such a different landscape. We camped in this canyon by the river. The heat pressed down, and there were warnings about rattlesnakes everywhere. Funnily, even though the landscape felt so different from anything that we've ever seen before, the snakes and the heat really made it feel like home.
If you were Oregon and I was Virginia, far and close from the same old home. The fence wasn't built yet when you lived on it, and you were working the garden.
Watching the shifting light across the canyon was incredible and like nothing we've ever seen before. The sky fills with the deepest pinks before the clouds dispersed, and we watched the stars for hours. So last night when we were all going to sleep, I heard this weird noise, and it was like a crackle. It sounded like electric or something. It was really weird, and I was a bit spooked out. I was like, what could that be? And then I thought about it, and I was like, is that a rattlesnake? Because it sounded like two rocks being tapped together. It was like and then I got really scared because maybe a rattlesnake was angry at me and I was sleeping in the wrong spot or something. And apparently there's supposed to be a lot of rattlesnakes here, so now I'm just overthinking everything. Now I think there was a rattlesnake that was really angry at me in the night.
So it's all fading to black, except for your lantern you never took back.
As we drove across this mountain pass, wildflowers filled the meadows and hillsides. We learned that they were fireweed and watched as bees pollinated and danced in the wind.
I'd give you the time.
Later, we learnt that fireweed grows quickly after forest fires, and as we drove further, smoke filled the skyline and fires burnt down the mountainsides. We began to understand how the climate crisis is affecting this country that is so different but similar to our home in the rainforest. Temperatures are soaring, and the wildfire season here is the most severe on record, with fires burning 10 million hectares of country across Canada. We watched the smoke and flames with a similar fear to what we felt when the forests at home burned, and we were reminded how important it is to care for these landscapes that hold us.
And these old lines, well, I was too damn stubborn to give you time.
After weeks on the road, we finally made it to our family reunion. 80 people from Canada, the Netherlands, USA, and Australia all gathered. We played games, rode horses, told stories, and celebrated this big special family. On our dad's side, we share our great-grandparents, which is where our name comes from, but we found that we share so much more. While it was hard being there without our dad, it was so meaningful to connect and be supported by this big family. The music in this video is by The Riverside. You can find their links in our description. Thank you so much to our patrons. We are so grateful for your support. The animals are happy at home being looked after by a friend.
With the trees and